I think that pine limb hanging on there is free. I don't think I got charged for that. Looks like about 28 so on there. 29, I think, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have you stack it all around here, and Jake's gonna get some tomorrow. He's bringing Jake some tomorrow. Hang on, guys. See, my tractor's a little bit lightweight for that up high. I could probably do them with barks off the truck itself, but way up high like that, I'd be a little bit off balance. Plus, I don't have no counterweight like Dan's got a big mower on the back. Counterweight is. I can move them around down low, easy enough with my tractor. And I can also got a spear that goes on the back of my tractor. So probably if I got another spear for the front, and I may do that later on, I can carry one on the front and one on the back, kind of off balance each other. Pretty neat. Pretty good looking hay. See what it smells like. Got a good smell. A good smell. I know y'all can't smell it from where you're at. Smell it. How's it smell? It smells good to pop off. He told me there might be a few bales with a few weeds in it along the edges. But those guys, when they baling guys, they go into a field, they start cutting. And it's a field he uses every year, so he said won't be many weeds. There might be a few along the edges. It's not a big deal. Cows will pick around them. I bought some hay one year from a guy over around Splendora, and he said, now this hay, I'll never forget it. He said this hay, it may have a few, it was a new field. He said it may have some stuff in it. It might not be, they might not eat. Well, some of those bales are full of sticks. Yeah, you never know. Johnny takes care. He takes care of his fields. He gives good hay. But he said there's a few weeds along the edge, and that's not a problem. I know what kind of hay he delivers. The hay smells good. That's not Johnny. That guy works for Johnny. I can't call his name after he told me a dozen times. And you know how I am with names. I just call him Bubba. He's just Bubba. He lives over in Montgomery County, I think he told me. Not too far from where Johnny lives. All right, y'all probably tired of seeing this. It's exciting to me, knowing these cows of mine are going to have something besides just cubes. They'll still get their cubes. In fact, I'm not going to feed much of this except for maybe Billy and Granny down here in the front, because they still got some grazing in the back. Hey guys, be praying. Come Tuesday, there's a chance we may get some rain in Texas. And if we don't get it, maybe someone else will. But you know, there's something kind of disturbing coming off the edge of Florida that may come in the Gulf and develop into something. And maybe we'll get some good rain out of it. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. And I see on the Weather Channel up north, guys, I guess in the central part of the United States, it's fixing to get hot for everybody. It's supposed to be a big super high forming, and this is going to heat up the central part of this country. Well, if you haven't been getting into it already, I think you're fixing to. We've been at it for well over a month. 100-degree weather. Some places a lot hotter than that. What do you think, Hattie? You're hot right now, ain't you? I'm hot. Sitting out here in the sunshine. Let's move around the shade. this other side, he'll stack on the other side over here. I told him to just set it wherever he wants to. I'm not going to try moving it this morning. I've got to go to the feed store here in a little bit, and then we got to leave this afternoon, go get Lex. So I'm not going to have time to move it this morning. Dan may move some when he gets home. He said he's coming home early today, and if he does, he can move some and put it out of the way. And if not, I'll get up tomorrow morning and do it before they come back with another load. Try to do, put this with the gifts and goodies for tomorrow. It's got a few things we can open, I think mostly for the babies in the back. And that'll be kind of a fun thing. We'll go back there and have chaos again on the table. Right at it. Cuz come over yesterday, he says, I'll be glad the weather gets cool. We go back, sit on the tree and just chat. And I said, oh man, yeah, we sat on the porch yesterday morning. Started off okay, and within an hour, we was both sitting there sweating. He said, I'm going home. I said, well, you can come inside. He said, oh, I gotta go home. I got stuff to do before it gets too hot. So anyway, we're waiting on good, cool weather. Up in the trees. He's up in the trees, Hattie. I got it easier now. You got it off that top. Johnny, my hay man, said he's got a pasture, and I told y'all about it over in the Trinity River bottom land. He said they've got some rains over there that they didn't get over here or at his place. He said he's already feeding hay also to some of his cows. He got several pastures, and a couple of them haven't got the rain, so he's feeding hay. And he's the guy that wants Billy. But anyway, he said he's gonna send another load tomorrow. Jake's gonna take, I think Jake told me he'd take 10 or so, and whatever else is on there, I'll go ahead and take it. And hopefully we'll get some of that rain that may be coming, hopefully, and it'll green up a lot of the places in the back pasture, and I'll be okay. And the same way as the front pasture where Billy and Granny are at. Green it up. If it don't, then I'll just have to keep feeding hay, and probably eventually have to start feeding hay in the back. Still a little bit of grazing back there, plus they get all the cubes that they're getting twice a day, so they're doing good. They're all fat. There's nobody back there poor, nobody going hungry. Now Miracle acts like she's always hungry, but she's just a glutton. Ask Ivy. I would get sick of her, but he wouldn't have it no other way. He wouldn't have no other way. I'm gonna cut this off, guys. He's just about through. He'll do this side, and that'll be it. So I'll catch you guys later. Good. He's pretty good at that, ain't he? He does it every day, probably all day long. You get pretty good at stuff like that when you practice. Makes perfect, right? She'll be coming home and say, oh my, she's off with Kim. I mean, actually, you know, she's off with her sister Kim. They'll be coming home and say, oh my goodness, hey, right at the front door. Move this metal on top of this pallet, and then whenever they get ready to move it to where they want to take it, they can. And that way we can stack more hay along that fence line. So that's my chore right now. Still waiting on the hay truck. Haven't heard from him, so I know he must be coming, or he'd call me if he couldn't make it, I think. Normally he would. Unless the driver himself's having problems and Johnny's not aware of it. And anyway, I'm gonna get busy with this right here. Okay. I've got it all moved. Probably, I don't know, maybe, I'm guessing 15, 20 sheets of that stuff. Some of them are stuck together. One sheet's heavy enough. And I moved it over here, put it on top of this pallet. So whenever her and Jake have time or are playing, want to play, that'd be a good place to play. I can just play right here and move this on back to the back and get away from my shop. So, because I ain't got a lot of room over here as it is. And I can take it back, put it beside that fence back there in the back, put it up on some 4x4 so it don't lay in the dirt and rust, and it'll be good for whenever. Anyway, I got it moved, and now I can start putting this hay away. And along this fence line, I can come all the way up to that gate. I may even put a roll or two on the other side of the gate. Still waiting on the hay man if he's gonna show up with Jake. And I think Jake wanted 15 rolls. And the guy said, well, they haul like 29 on the load. And I said, well, whatever, you know, Jake don't take, I'd buy it and put it over here. So, they're not gonna make a trip out with half a load. So anyway, it's a pretty good drive over here. So anyway, I hadn't heard anything from him. I figured Johnny would call me if he wasn't gonna make it, unless the driver himself has had problems and he hasn't got word to Johnny or to me. Of course, I have to wait and see. All right, guys. I'm gonna sit here in my little chair and cool off a little bit. There's not much cool air around, but I'm gonna sit here in the shade anyway. At least my little job here was in the shade. I had to walk through the sun right there, but I made it a quick trip through that sunshine. All right, I'll catch you guys later. It's about time that boy got busy. You know, I raised this boy, fed him, sent him to school, bought books. Oh, I know he chewed the book covers off because he didn't know anything about reading, but that wasn't my fault. At the same time, he comes off out here and he wants to complain about having to help his dad. That just ain't right. It ain't right. Last night he wanted to say, well, why don't you use your own tractor? I said, I don't have no spare for my tractor. I'm going to get me one, though. So I ain't got a call on these folks. I can just go out there and hook up my spare and spear it, bust that hay, and take off with it. I've got a spear that goes on the back of my tractor, but it's a little bit more easier, more convenient. When you got them on that bucket, on that lift in the front, you can aim it better and put it where you want it to go better. But I'm gonna be a lot of harassment here.
Somebody go on through my yard over there.
With what?
Looks like some blue lights will be it. Lou said the garbage man came at 2:30 in the morning out before.
He probably got lost.
Huh?
Garbage man there got lost. Lou said the other morning, 2:30 in the morning. And I can understand why. She said the garbage man was out there unloading our dumpster. Well, listen. It gets so hot during the day. Can you imagine the work those guys have to do in the heat? I don't blame them for coming in the middle of the night. I'd rather work at night too. Anyway, so I'm okay. It's a lot of harassment here. I'm trying to sit here and cool off in this shade. I've worked hard this morning. Moved all that metal debris from over here. Yeah, that's what pawpaws do, right? Yeah, he's chewing her out. It's a little late to chew them out now, Dan. They're grown. You gotta chew them out when they're little. Let's see how he's doing. I have to make sure he's stacking it right.
That's out here, little kids, right there. I don't put up no bit.
Yeah, I saw it, son. I saw it. That's what.
She's leaving now. She knows.
Yeah, yeah. You run her. Yeah, he said that's the way to handle it.
Girl.
You're grounded.
Please, ground me from my kids. You can have them the whole weekend.
Hey, you had them. You had them.
And I'm too old to be grounded, huh?
Well, somebody to ground her from her kids. She had them. I'm gonna pick on him here in a minute. Huh?
How many is there?
29.
29?
I want them stacked straight too, Dan. I ain't gonna tolerate a crooked rope. That's what you got. That's what you have. Oh yeah, he did a good job. He doing a good job. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, he's doing a good job. I'll have to stay on him a little bit though, guys. You know, you can't ever let up on this guy, so if you do, they're gonna get ahead of you. Someone I said the other day, I was talking about Kim and a couple of different people. I guess they think I'm passive aggressive. They said you should praise her and you should do this, you should do that, and you shouldn't pick on her, you shouldn't be mean to her. I pick on Kim, she picks on me. We love each other dearly. I respect her knowledge, her skills. She's awesome, but I am going to pick on her. I am. Can't help it. And they pick on me too. See that front end, the spear on the front, it's a lot easier to line them up better than it is when you're backing in with one on the rear of your tractor. And that's the only kind I have. And I'm going to get one like that for the front. Because Jake and I and everybody be using tractors at different times around here. Moving hay and stuff like that, so I need to have my own. I don't think they're that expensive, I don't think. But in the meantime, I'll put the one on the back of my tractor, and I'll use that to put hay out until I get one. So it's easy, one on the back putting hay out. It's just a little bit harder when you're putting hay in like this here when you're stacking it up. It's a lot easier just to drive into it and lower it down, pack it. And what you do, you pack the cracks where they come together. And that way rain falls, it hits the top of that bale, and they're tight, and the water just runs off the sides. Now, when you put another row, you don't want those rows touching. If they do, then you leave just a space. You know, it don't matter if it's 2 or 3 inches, just enough space between them. Not only do you have airflow, but the water running down the side of that bale won't run into the other bale and accumulate inside the hay. And only hay you actually will lose in this process will be where it touches the ground. And a lot of folks put down a rock and stack it up. Watch out, Dan. Don't get too close to that. The bees will get angry with you in a minute. So, see that space it leaves between them, and that's good. Good airflow.
That's not too close to bees, is it?
As long as they don't sting you, you're okay.
All right, it's all right there?
Yeah, that's good, buddy. Anyway, you leave that space between them like that in the airflow, and plus rain and water running off that bale on either side, it's not going to be touching where it can't go all the way down to the ground. Because once that rainwater gets to that, where the bale kind of slopes back in, it just drips right on off on the ground. But anyway, the only loss you'll have out of these bales, if they're wound up really good and tight, will be right just where it touches the ground. And some folks stack them on rock, and they have less waste. I probably should get some rock and stack them on it, but there won't be that much waste. A couple of inches, 3 inches on the bottom. Pretty good hay. It's good and tight too. I better move. We're getting closer and closer. You trying to run over me, son?
No, Dad, I ain't trying to run over you.
Well, you got mighty close. You got mighty close.
Walk over here with me, pal. Let's
Y'all go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Got water.
Here, I'll do it. Hang in here. Hand me the camera. Hand me your
Now,
camera.
film both
No, I'm going to get us both.
real quick.
Because I've been talking about it.
But if you put these tight together, you know, like flush these up, water will run off of this and then it's going to sit right here. And it's going to ruin a lot of hay on both these areas of this bale right here. That's why we like to leave a little bit of space in between ours. Now, when you do that, you can't double stack and, you know, stack up like that. Typically, if you're going to do that, you need to do that inside of a barn where you don't get the water and stuff on top of it. But you will lose a little bit of hay on the bottom. You're going to lose a little bit on top. If you stack it together, you're going to lose a lot of hay on the sides too. So that's why we leave a little some space and let the air dry it out.
Very good explanation, Dan. I just have talking about that very thing.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, but that's fine. I was hoping you'd back in that beehive.
But
Then we'll see your big Dan moving.
yeah, anyway, so that's the purpose. And square hay, of course, is a lot easier. You don't waste near as much, but it's so hard to every day have to go put out hay, rain, sleet, snow, or shine.
Watch these
All
bees.
we have right now is shine around here.
They normally come straight out and go out across here. Now the hay's here already. I've seen some coming in, making that circle around this hay. They coming in like this here, back in. They learn it quick. It's kind of boogered right there.
Yeah, I don't put booger on that end, but most of these are all pretty good tight rolls. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys real quick.
What I was trying to show you, those bees have all this time have come straight out and straight out across here, straight out. And they go up above the trees on out to wherever they're going. And they come straight back right into their door. Now the hay is stacked there. They've already seen real quick they got a circle. That little GPS still shows them where they got to go. But now they see there's something in their way. And they just kind of make a little curve out around that bale right on into their house. And I sit there watching them. The first ones that come back kind of made that little, they kind of banked like you would an airplane. They kind of banked it off to the left and then went right on into the house. All right, I'm gonna cut this off. It's off. Oh Lord, Jake, Dan, getting close. He getting close, wasn't he? He bumps that big eye. We're gonna have problems out here. All right, I'm gonna cut this off. Tell him not to bump it no more because he's already into that framework. Shake them guys up, they're gonna come out of there mad. Ready, Hat? Heidi's been in the house. I told G to keep her in. No need her coming out here and it's so hot while I worked. But G said she just kept on, so here she is. And not to bump them, just kind of stack them. He said, I can go around behind and push you. I said, oh, no, you don't. You don't want to get up there beside them, pushing. It won't be a problem till this winter we pick up that last roll there. We have to be very gentle, pulling it away from that hive. Be very gentle. It's okay. We'll make do. If I have to, that very day, which is, you know, that's a long time, I hope, away before we have to take that last row, I'll come out and throw a sheet over the hive. Late in the evening when they're all inside, it'd be winter time, they won't be out as much. Then I'll move it. Then I'll remove the sheet. This time of the day, they start slowing down. It gets so hot. There's not a lot out there. I got sugar stuff out here for them, and in the evening sometimes they come out and munch on this sugar. It don't look like a lot of activity this time of the day, and it's not because it's so hot. But in the evenings, they get real active. In the early mornings, they're real active. I don't blame them. Acts like he wants to play chicken, doesn't he? Yeah, he's playing chicken. Yeah, I thought you were gonna play chicken with it, Hattie. I'll make sure on that last bale this winter when I move it away from that hive, I'll do it myself. I won't have nobody do it for me regardless, because I'm not allergic. And old Dan gets stung, he swells up all over. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut this off. We're gonna bring it up to the gate, and we get up past with the 2 rows up to the gate. We may have to start a 3rd row, and it may be even a 4th over here next to, closer to the building. We run out of space there. I'm not really sure where I'll put it. We'll put it somewhere. Anyway, put it back in the garden. I guess I can do like I did last year. It's just so it's kind of inconvenient back there. It was easy to keep it secured, but it was just inconvenient. Open the gate. Cows always tried to run in on you. You know, chasing back out. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this off and get it out to you. It's for the guy who brought the hay yesterday, and Dan stacking it today. And we got a birthday party to go to here in a little while. I'm gonna get in and get cleaned up. I'm gonna go out and sit with Cuddles for a few minutes. I hear her crying. Cuddles has to have special treatment. I don't know, she's spoiled. So I'm gonna go out and sit with her, kind of stick with Dan here a little bit. It's okay. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit the like button, share it with your friends. I love you guys. Y'all take care.